I've already started making the argument that Kamaru Usman is the greatest welterweight champion of all time. And I know I completely understand if anyone disagrees with it, to be honest, because, I mean, I've been around when GSP was not far away from retirement. I mean, he retired in 2013 and he came back again, right? But, I mean, back in the day, I've seen a lot of his performances, and GSP was a dominant champion. He was dominant. I mean, his fights against the likes of Carlos Condit, Nick Diaz, Matt Serra, just the list just goes on, right? BJ Penn was all incredible, but I think it's the magnitude in which Kamaru Usman does it is what's different from how GSP did it. Most of GSP's victories were decision victories. Now, I'm not trying to take anything away from that. These are dominant performances. But like the way the Nigerian Nightmare knocked out, literally laid a beating on Gilbert Burns, right? The fight against Colby Covington, against Masvidal, these fights literally just cemented him as like the greatest welterweight of all time. To be honest, GSP has been in a lot of adversities. Have you seen the fight against Carlos Condit, the head kick?
Yes.
You know what I mean? He was put on his ass.
Vaseline gate, when he had the Vaseline all over his body, and Dana White was like, "That's fucking illegal." Like,
Fucking illegal.
he has been in a lot of it, just like John Jones. He has been in a lot of adversities, but we can't look at those adversities if we still hold John Jones to that pedestal. Realistically, if we look past what John Jones has done, you know, being a bastard outside the cage, if we look past that and still hold him as the GOAT, then we need to look past anything GSP or anyone else has done. Even the fact that even Khabib missing weight and not taking fights and not really. People argue that, you know, he's stat padded a bit. Is probably the best way to put it. People argue that and say that he probably didn't really fight the highest level of calibers leading up to the title run. But you've got to look past that and think, who else has become undefeated in the UFC? No one. No one's ever done it.
Not many people, to be honest, certainly.
Exactly. And if he's clever enough, Khabib, to realise, right, if I want to stay undefeated, I need to go out on top because it doesn't last, as we've just seen with Usman.
Yeah, completely. And, you know, in relation to the rematch between Usman and Leon Edwards, who do you think has, obviously, Leon Edwards probably would have the psychological advantage going into the fight, but do you think Usman is going to have any confidence going into the fight? Because we obviously recognize that he was winning the fight, right? Got knocked out clean, but he was winning the fight. So do you think there's going to be any psychological warfare going in knowing that someone's just knocked you out cold and you're rematching that person?
Oh yeah, definitely. There'll be a more of an edge to this rematch, this trilogy fight than the second and the first fight because of the way it's gone down. It's 1-1 now. Whoever wins this next one wins the trilogy. They're the better fighter. And if you think about it, if Edwards beats Usman again, you can't not turn around and hold him in this argument that we've just been having about Usman and GSP because he lost to Usman once. That's it. That's it.
That's it. Literally, just Usman. 2015.
Exactly. He's wiped the floor with everyone else, and there's an argument to be said because of these little adversities that he's had himself. You know, injuries, COVID, putting him on his back for 2 years and not really getting a fighting opportunity. The three-piece in Minnesota with Masvidal, which didn't really hold him in the best light, we can admit. And then, obviously, with the eye poke on Bilal Muhammad, completely not his fault. It happens. It's just unfortunate luck.
And that was a fight he was dominating as well against Bilal, right?
Exactly, which if you look, you know, in the year since, Bilal Muhammad's held himself in good stead, to be honest. He's fought some really good fighters and dominated them. I mean, Vicente Luque, was it?
Stephen Wonderboy Thompson as well, recently.
Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, which
former
is
title contender.
Exactly, which is impressive. It is impressive, to be fair. You've got to realise that he's on the up in that division too. Which, again, it'd be weird to think, but can Bilal Muhammad break into those title contention spots and shock everyone there? Because his style,
we'll see.
It's not a fan favorite style. Let's admit that. And
is he a boring fighter? What is he?
He is Twitter happy. He likes to talk a lot on Twitter.
But... he chats a lot of shit, right?
He's funny at times. I have to admit, he can be funny, but I do see his tweets a lot and think, "What are you doing, mate?" Do you know what I mean?
yeah, completely.